Thank you. Secretary Perry, yesterday I sent you a letter on current Yucca Mountain activities and expenditures and an update on expenditures that would be associated with a restarted Yucca Mountain licensing proceeding. It's important that my constituents have an accurate understanding of the balances of the accounts for nuclear waste disposal and what expenditures are being made in regards to Yucca Mountain in the absence of congressional direction. Would you commit to giving this letter your attention and providing a quick response within the next 2 weeks?
I literally just have it in my hand this morning, and I'm going to review it and give you as timely a response as possible. Senator.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Your budget recommends spending $120 million to bring high-level nuclear waste to Nevada. And prior to your confirmation, you were asked about Yucca Mountain, and you stated to this committee in writing that, quote, I cannot at this time make an assessment about the time and costs associated with the Yucca project, but I am committed to learning more about the project and helping to resolve this national problem. I want to focus on the first part of your answer, which is the time and costs. In regards to costs, are you aware of the last year in which the Department of Energy completed a total system life cycle cost assessment for Yucca Mountain?
I am not.
Let me tell you, it was 2008, more than a decade ago. Are you aware of the detailed estimates this report included on the total costs for Yucca Mountain?
I am not.
Okay, in 2007 dollars, about $96 billion, and it has not been adjusted for inflation. Are you aware that this report also indicates the Department of Energy will need $13.5 billion, again in 2007 dollars, and 10 years just to obtain a construction authorization and license from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission?
I take your word for it, Senator.
Thank you. One of the many yet to be addressed concerns regarding engineering safety and cost pertains to DOE's design for titanium drip shields that are supposed to sit over each of the thousands of waste canisters in Yucca Mountain's underground tunnels to keep out corroding water. No plan has been made to design these structures. No pay-for has been determined, which is particularly crucial considering the amount of material required has been said to exhaust the nation's supply of titanium, and no plan has been made on how to install the shields. This unacceptable state of affairs was detailed by former NRC Commissioner Victor Galinsky in a bulletin of the Atomic Scientist Journal article in November 2014. Has any such consideration like this been made?
Senator, I would tell you that in the decade that's passed since that report that you're making reference to, that a lot of technology has changed, and I don't want to.
Has the Department of Energy done a consideration or analysis based on that to put costs associated with it?
No.
Okay. And if you're going to make a budget request to restart licensing for a facility that requires such expensive, innovative engineering, wouldn't it be more appropriate to lay all of these considerations before Congress before asking for more money?
I think what we're asking, Senator, is that these dollars are for the licensing side that the NRC's working on, and for our operational side of it, just to cover the cost of that. It's not to be looking at the structural issues that are involved there that may or may not be.
So in that regard, does
timely.
the Department of Energy feel confident in the current license application for Yucca Mountain, or would it need to submit a new application for changes?
I think we would be going forward with the licensing process as the law requires us to, and you know, I think.
Is there an additional cost associated with it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Would the environmental impact statements for the project require any updates?
I would suggest it probably would.
Does the Department of Energy even have a final design for the facility?
No.
So why should Congress agree to appropriate any funds without answers to any of these questions?
Well, I think this issue's been on the table for a long time, and Congress is, you know, Congress funds a number of things without having a final plan done. So this is nothing out of the ordinary. This is basically
I appreciate that comment, but I disagree. I'm
ma'am.
sitting here in Congress, and I want a final plan. I want to know how the money's being spent. I want an analysis. I want an assessment I think it's irresponsible not to ask those questions, to ask for that information, and it's your job to provide that information. So I'm looking forward in the future, if we're going to go down this path, and we've had this conversation before, I think you need to come up with concrete answers and an assessment and a cost affiliated with it for many things that are happening right now with Department of Energy. And I disagree with some of the comments you've made and have concerns and echo some of the concerns of my colleagues with respect to the budget cuts that are occurring and being requested for the Department of Energy and the impact it's going to have in Nevada as well. Thank you. I notice my time is up.